yours truly. I'm the one and only. I go by the name of Mr. Taliaferro. Please make sure you're following your boy on Instagram at Mr. Taliaferro. I got this Prestige Royalty on my back right now. Y'all make sure y'all check out their merch line at prestigeroyalty.com. That is Prestige Royalty on Instagram as well. Go check them out. It's important to shop black because we need to own more black. And I'm going to tell you why that's so important right now. This is a crazy story that I think is very important in the landscape of black people, man. We got to own more so things like this can't happen, all right? So, sum up a long story, somebody that I got a lot of respect and admiration for, Nick Cannon. Now, I don't love Nick Cannon, a rapper, although Can I Live is one of my favorite songs of all time. I don't think Nick Cannon is good at rapping, but what Nick Cannon is incredible at is being a businessman. What he has been able to do and the amount of black people that he has been able to empower with his hit show Wild 'N Out, that's 10 plus seasons over there at VIACOM. I mean, he has been incredible for our culture. I've interviewed many comedians from DC Young Fly to Patty Whack Nick to B Simone, and they all say nothing but great things and are very appreciative of the opportunities that Nick Cannon has given them. I mean, think about it. Where else can an Instagram comedian go once they get popping on social media, right? Like, where else do they go? They go to Wild 'N Out if you get popping enough. He has been able to give these people some television experience, and I just want to say I got the utmost respect for Nick Cannon and what he's been doing with Wild 'N Out for quite some time now. I feel like we look at that show as a joke, but bruh really didn't put a lot of black people on, and that's to be commended. So salute to Nick Cannon. He's looking for a new home for his hit show Wild 'N Out. Well, maybe, as he got dropped by Viacom. So for those who don't know what the heck ViacomCBS is, Viacom owns all the channels in which you watch all the Martin and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reruns. I'm gonna be honest with you. Viacom owns BET, VH1, MTV1, MTV2. It's all owned by Viacom. All right? At the end of the day, it's their programming. And Nick Cannon was on his podcast the other day, and I'm going to tell you exactly what got him booted from Viacom. I'm going to read to you the comments that got him booted, and y'all let me know what y'all think. For these anti-Semitism comments, Nick Cannon said, black people are the true Hebrews, and he said it's never been about hate speech. You can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people. When we are the same people who they want to be, those are our birthrights. We are the true Hebrews. That's essentially what Nick Cannon said to get him fired. You can go check out the podcast for more. Here's Viacom's statement on what Nick Cannon said. They said, Viacom condemns bigotry of any kind, and we categorically denounce all forms of anti-Semitism. We have spoken with Nick Cannon about an episode of his podcast called Cannon's Class on YouTube, which promoted hateful speech and spreaded anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. While we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, we are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetuating anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. We are committed to doing better in our response to incidents of anti-Semitism, racism, and bigotry. ViacomCBS will have further announcements on our efforts to combat hate of all kinds. That is via Viacom. I saw 50 Cent hop on his Twitter account and say, damn, Nick, what the fuck was you on that stupid ass podcast talking about? No more Wild 'N Out, huh? Don't worry, be happy. We do know 50 Cent and Nick Cannon have had a recent back and forth over Eminem in 2020. So I have really deep and thorough comments about this because I think this affects me. It affects anybody in the entertainment business. Bruh, I watch MTV2 a lot more than I should. I watch BET a lot. Everybody who knows me, y'all know I am that guy. I like 90s, early 2000s black sitcom television. Now, I'm only 26, but I act much older than my age in this regard. I watch Fresh Prince, Martin, My Wife and Kids, the Wayans Brothers. I'd rather watch that any day over watching Love and Hip Hop and all that, especially with no sports. Y'all know I'm a sports dude. With no sports, all I watch is MTV2. Because I love those shows that I named and a couple others. Everybody Hate Chris. Oh, I'm an Everybody Hate Chris nigga. Oh, I love that show. Damn you, Terry Crews, but I love Everybody Hates Chris. I love black sitcom television. That's who I am. And every commercial break, when I'm watching those shows, literally it feels like every commercial break, I see either a Viagra commercial or a Wild 'N Out commercial. Literally every commercial break. I bring that up to say, Nick has been a staple with Viacom for quite some time with Wild 'N Out. And the fact that Viacom terminated this deal with Nick so easily, and again, they're saying it wasn't because of the comments he made that got him fired, it was the lack of apology, because Nick did come out and make a statement, and they're claiming that his statement was not apologetic enough. I'm gonna read a little of Nick's apology, or somewhat what it was. He said, "I'm deeply saddened in the moment so close to reconciliation that the powers that be misused an important moment for us to all grow closer together and learn more about one another. Instead, the moment was stolen and hijacked to make another example out of an outspoken black man. I will not be bullied, silenced, or continuously oppressed by any organization, group, or corporation. I am disappointed that Viacom does not understand or respect the power of the black community. I was a member of the Viacom family for over 20 years since I was a minor. We worked together to make great positive entertainment, and I was handed many opportunities that I'm grateful for. I was deemed the youngest staff writer in TV history at 17 years of age." And I could go on and on with some of what Nick Cannon said about his stay at Viacom. I do want to point out this. I'll just summarize this here. Nick Cannon has reached out to Viacom to demand his ownership. He said, "But now I'm making one more demand. I demand full ownership of my billion-dollar Wild 'N Out brand that I created, and they will continue to misuse and destroy without my leadership. I demand that the hate and backdoor bullying cease, and while we're at it, now that the truth is out, I demand the apology." So again, Nick did apologize. I guess it wasn't to Viacom's liking. So what I believe, and don't quote me on this, this is not reporting, this is my belief, just a little bit of knowledge of the television business. So I believe they fired Nick Cannon, the producer, the owner of Wild 'N Out. Technically, I believe Nick Cannon could still be a talent on his show, but what in the hell sense does that make if they remove Nick Cannon's name from Wild 'N Out and he's now just one of the members of the show? Don't quote me on that, but I don't believe he was fired as a talent, but I think technically he could be right next to DC Young Fly as a talent on the red team of Wild 'N Out, and he's obviously not going to do that. You're not going to take his show from him and then make him a talent on his own show, something that he created. He wants the ownership of it. I thought Nick is astute a businessman, and he is. I thought he would have owned that show, but then that kind of does make a lot of sense why Viacom always running Nick Cannon Wild 'N Out ads every 10 minutes that Martin goes on commercial break. It's because they own some of it, and it looks like Nick Cannon is demanding that ownership back. Now, he's playing a very, very tricky game, and I would say this. I don't know if I'm $60 million up like Nick Cannon is reportedly. I don't know if I would have a podcast blurring out all of my comments if I'm that far up and I don't own Wild 'N Out, right? I thought he had a podcast and he owned Wild 'N Out, because I don't think his comments were that crazy, but I'm also not Jewish. I can't tell another community how to feel when they're offended. Just like how people shouldn't be trying to tell the black community what should we be offended about. We want to fight about black issues with the police. Let us do that. All right? So I can't tell the Jewish community what offends them. I didn't think his comments were that crazy, but they said they feel offended. Viacom wants to end a relationship with Nick, and they've done that. I just can't believe Nick was on a podcast and a radio station that he does without ownership, owning Wild 'N Out. He had to know that this day would come. As vocal a black man, astute, and as educated a black man Nick is, he had to know with him working on the Dr. Sebi documentary from God Rest the Great Nipsey Hussle, he had to know that this day was coming some kind of way. And we about to be into a recession with the pandemic going on. Like, let's call a spade a spade. This could easily be Viacom saying, we in some debt right now. We're not going to be able to make a lot of new programming because nobody's able to shoot right now. Let's get from under some debt. We're going to make this comment that Nick Cannon said, and we're going to just over-exaggerate this bad boy to the masses so we can get out of paying Nick Cannon and that Wild 'N Out staff. Like, I hate that Viacom is doing this. This is a wake-up call for us that we need to own more. We need to own more. We don't own enough television networks, right? We need to own more. We're about to get into Diddy in a second, because right now we're losing too much with one man's comments. One man got on the podcast, and in 2 sentences, we have now lost a company that was empowering a lot of our community from social media, right? And they were going on to empower their people. We're losing that platform that so many people were benefiting on just because Nick had one comment that the Jewish community didn't like. See, that wouldn't happen if if Nick was on Diddy's Revolt TV, which is where I'm going with the next comment. Diddy has extended an offer to Nick Cannon to join Revolt TV that Diddy does own, by the way. He said the only way we can change the narrative, educate, and uplift each other is if we do it together. Nick, my brother, I am here to support you fully in any way you need. What we are not going to do is turn our backs on our brothers and sisters when they challenge the system. Come home to Revolt TV, which is truly black owned. We got your back and love what you have done for the culture. I think that would be so great. The only thing is Nick Cannon's wilding out is probably a big bag. I don't know if Diddy wants to pay the number that would likely be needed. What's over there at Revolt right now? Breakfast Club is over there at Revolt. State of the Culture is over there at Revolt. Drink Champs is over there at Revolt. So they got a few shows over there, but not a lot. Most of it is like documentary type programming at Revolt. So that would be a big get for Diddy, but it's gonna also take a big budget to get Nick over there. And that whole, you're gonna have to literally buy the rights from Viacom and then find a way to get it over to Nick Cannon. So that's a big bag that I'm not sure if Diddy's willing to pay. If he is, I think that'd be great. I would love to see Wild 'N Out on that platform. I would love to see us watch Revolt more, empower that programming more. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Again, Nick Cannon has been let go of his Viacom contract. This is a big deal in the culture, man. This is a big deal, man. Nick, ain't too many more people out there doing more black, like literally being more blacker than Nick Cannon. There's no other way to put it. Nick Cannon is black in every which way. And the fact that he lost that deal with Viacom, very telling that we gotta own more. I thank you guys so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out.